Welcome back to the Retro Craptacular podcast, where each month we continue our search for the best bad movies on the planet Earth. I am your host, Aaron, and I am joined, as always, by Matt.
Greetings, friend.
Oh my gosh, hey, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
So good.
Pretty good.
Nice.
Pretty good.
Pretty good is pretty okay with me.
Fair.
Yeah.
Glad we're on the same page.
No, I don't know. Sure. Yeah.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
We're in a nice chill room despite the heat because air conditioning exists. even
People
though
love
it's
it when
the
we talk
scourge of the
about weather.
environment, but yeah, they do.
Yeah. We had like the coldest summer or coldest spring in a long time, and all of a sudden summer was like, boom, I'm here.
Yep. Like a big,
It went from being like 14 degrees one day, 14, 15 degrees, to being like 32.
yeah.
Just like tomorrow,
32 feels like 37.
we double it.
Yep.
But that's all right.
Yeah, the valley, what are you going to do? It's a weird place to be for
Yeah.
weather and
It's almost like the environment is fucked.
yeah.
But don't let me tell you that.
We'll all be dead so soon.
Let science tell you that.
Indeed.
I think we should talk about, well, let's maybe start with Stranger Things. Actually, I'll tell you this. I saw Top Gun Maverick yesterday. Whips ass.
Cool. I haven't seen it.
So hard.
But I'll take your word for it.
It's better than the first one, I think. I haven't seen the first one in a while, but the last 45 minutes of that movie, I don't know. Once they start doing the actual mission, it's the best fighter plane movie ever made. Best fighter pilot movie ever made. It is so good. I want to watch just that last act of the movie over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. If like if they came into the theater and were like, "Hey, do you want to watch from the part where they launched the mission again?" I would have been like, "Yeah, fucking put it on. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it."
Wow.
I wish I had seen it in IMAX because I feel like that would have been
That would have
the
been
best. Because
quite the experience.
there was definitely some shots where I'm like, they cropped this. They cropped this for the regular old boring theater, but because I know they shot it in full 1.9
Wow.
IMAX. Digital IMAX.
Well, cool. I mean, that's what that movie should be all about, is fighter jets.
Yeah.
So it makes sense.
Like, is it an amazing piece of character work and stuff? Like, no. It does the business it needs to do.
Yeah.
In terms of character work, but it's not like
we all do.
Yeah. But it's not like astounding. And it's like maybe a little bit less of a piece of American Navy propaganda.
Okay. That's cool.
Like, it's definitely not anti-American
I would
Air
assume.
Force, Navy, whatever, but it's also like not as like, hey man, being a fighter pilot's the coolest thing ever. Ha ha, high five. I'm feeling the need for speed, like that kind of thing.
All right, cool.
As the first one.
Right.
And as a sequel to a movie that came out like 30 years ago, I actually thought it lent very lightly on the nostalgia in terms of like callbacks.
Interesting.
Like the biggest callback is obviously Goose's son is in the movie.
Right.
He's a pilot. There's a scene where he's wearing aviators and a Hawaiian shirt that's open over a wife beater, and he's playing Great Balls of Fire.
That's pretty overt.
On the piano. That's like the number one like callback.
Yeah.
But there was definitely like nobody says I'm feeling the need for speed. Maverick does go inverted at one point and fly right over top of someone else.
Of course.
There's no I was waiting for at the very end for spoilers, I guess. They complete the mission.
Oh.
Yeah.
I guess that's a spoiler. I would
Yeah.
I would have guessed that though. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, okay, double spoilers. I'll put the time code in. There's a point where you think maybe Maverick dies. And they're kind of setting it up as they're going on the mission like, ooh, maybe Maverick's not coming back.
Oh.
He totally lives. And there was a bit at the end where I was like expecting him to like turn to Rooster, who is Goose's son,
Okay.
and say, you can be my wingman anytime. And they didn't do that.
Good.
So
That's a good choice.
yeah, in terms of like those types of callbacks, light.
Cool.
It's more like aesthetic callbacks, Tom Cruise riding his motorcycle along the airfield as jets are taking off and that kind of,
Classic,
at sunset. And
Classic.
Oh, the opening credit sequence is like like almost a shot for shot remake of the original. Just like
okay.
shots of planes taking off on an aircraft carrier and like crews setting up the catch wires and all that kind of stuff, and set to Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins.
Naturally.
Like it. Honestly, they could have just taken the opening credit sequence from Top Gun and thrown it in here, and I wouldn't have known.
Fair. Yeah.
So, anyways, 10 out of 10 recommend.
Cool.
And by 10 out of 10, I mean the movie's actually probably like a 6.5 out of 10 as a movie, but like as an action movie, 10 out of 10.
Yeah, you set your expectations right. It's 100%.
Yeah, like, do you want to see real fighter planes doing real amazing stuff? You're gonna see it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
Yeah. All right, now let's talk about Stranger Things.
Oh, yeah. Stranger Things Season 4, Part 1.
Boy, things sure keep getting strange out in Hawkins.
Hawkins.
Yeah.
I'm very interested to know your thoughts and feelings so far on Season 4.
I have mixed feelings. I like the new villain. I like that it's not just the Mind Flayer's back again and he's flaying some more minds. I like the... Should we just say spoilers from here on out?
Yeah.
For Stranger Things?
Absolutely.
Put in the time codes. I like the fun backstory we get for Vecna, although I gotta say the 11 flashback lab stuff has always been my least favorite part of the show entirely.
Oh, yeah?
I don't like spending a lot of time in the lab.
Oh, how come?
It just doesn't appeal to me in any way. Because it's kind of just like a bunch of kids in like
hospital gowns
with nodes on their heads, crushing
experimented
Coke cans in like very boring medical office setting.
Oh, interesting. I don't find it boring at all, personally, but
I just like the more time we spend there, the less interesting it gets to me.
Interesting.
Where I'm like, this is so dull. Like, just, yeah, I don't know. Maybe if they doled it out in like shorter bursts, I'd be more on board. But like, that was always the part of the show where I found my mind wandering. And maybe it's also just because it's like just 11 and Papa, who I don't find to be very interesting. Like, I find Papa, like, in season 1, it's like, okay, he's just bad.
Yeah.
And then in flashbacks, it's like, oh, maybe he does care. I don't know.
The reason I really liked the flashbacks is because, like, we've been getting, like, origin stuff.
Yeah.
Like, basically why this lab was started is because Brenner found this boy. With powers.
Yeah.
And then, like, why the gate was formed in the first place. And, like the first interaction with the Upside Down, really, is something that we get in the flashbacks.
Yeah, so what I got from from the end of season 4, where you find out that 1 is Vecna and that 11 opened the gate and sent him into the Upside Down, was the Upside Down always there, or did she create the Upside Down?
Well, that's not something that we know the answer to quite yet.
Okay.
Because I guess it depends on how you phrase it, right? Because the Upside Down we think of as the Dark Hawkins, right? The Shadowfell of the Hawkins. But the Shadowfell of the Hawkins was created at the beginning of season 1. Like, the Shadowfell part, the copy of Hawkins, is actually created when Elle touches the Demogorgon. There is some kind of universe that exists there, but the copy of Hawkins has not been made yet.
Does it?
Yeah, because it's dated. Like, when Nancy and crew are trapped in the Shadowfell,
right.
They go to her room to look for guns, and she finds her diary, and it is the beginning of season 1. It's the day or like the day before Will goes missing.
Wait, but when does Elle touch the Demogorgon?
Like the day or day before Will goes missing. I'm pretty sure.
Do we see that? I didn't think she touched the Demogorgon until like the end.
We get like lab flashback stuff
When
with
she
her,
gets sucked through.
like in season 1.
Yeah, at the very end of season 1, where she's like, "Goodbye, Mike," and then like pushes the Demogorgon
Oh no,
back
no, no, no.
into.
I'm talking about when like she's spying on a Russian in the deprivation tank, like before all of the stuff in season 1 actually happens. This is a flashback. And then she
Oh.
hears the weird sound and panics, and then Dr. Brenner's like, "That's really cool. You gonna go make contact with this strange creature that you've encountered in that dark place." And then she goes while it's like feeding or something and makes mental connection with it by touching it. And then when she does that, the Demogorgon's like, "Oh, hey, there's other stuff going on," and then breaks through into their world.
Oh, and then that's when the copy of Hawkins was made. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was like watching Vecna getting sent into the Upside Down, and I'm like, okay, so did Vecna like spend time creating like a perfect shadow copy of Hawkins, and that's why he, lives in his old house and all that kind of stuff? But yeah, okay, so it's dated like right before
Yeah.
Will goes missing. That's interesting.
And there is some kind of like hive mind stuff going on with the Upside Down. So I'm wondering if Vecna was sent there and then lost in that place and became one with it or something. I don't know. Maybe used his mind powers to
yeah.
integrate.
So how does the Mind Flayer work into it?
Yeah, that's a very interesting question.
Is the
Isn't it?
Mind Flayer a minion of Vecna?
Or is it the other way around?
Is this a Thanos like fuck it, I'll do it myself kind of scenario?
Yeah, I don't know yet. I'm hoping we'll
Interesting.
figure that out.
Yeah.
Got 2 more episodes in like 5 days, I think.
Yeah, July 1st.
Yeah.
I know what I'm doing Canada Day.
Oh, I'm hanging out with Family Canada Day.
Boo.
I'm not gonna be able to watch it right away.
I'm not celebrating Canada, so I'll just.
Oh, I'm celebrating hanging out with family that I don't get to see very often.
Oh, nice.
Just
Yeah,
to be clear.
yeah.
I'm also not celebrating Canada.
I mean, I'll probably barbecue some burgers or something because.
Because dope. Yeah.
Yeah, burgers aren't. I don't need to explain myself to anyone. I'll make burgers and not be patriotic if I want to. God damn it.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kenobi.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Let's hear your thoughts.
All right. I enjoyed it.
I also enjoyed it.
Good.
My only complaint that I would have about it is that kind of wish it was a movie.
A movie instead of a 6-episode extravaganza.
Yeah, because it's not that I dislike, like I like having that much time
Mm-hmm.
to kind of explore things. But there was definitely some times where I was like, oh, this just kind of looks cheap.
So you wish they would have put all of the budget into like a 2-hour movie rather than spread it out over 6-hour-long episodes?
Yeah, because there were some times where I'm like, ooh, this really does not.
That's something that you definitely have more of an eye for than me. Was this? Do you remember any particulars of when that stood out to you?
Yeah, a lot of the stuff in the 5th episode, like when Vader shows up, a couple of the Vader things actually, like when he first meets Vader on at the planet when they're running through the tunnel to try and get onto the ship and escape that planet.
Oh yeah.
Spoilers, by the way. We'll put the time codes in. Whatever.
They should get it by now.
You should get it by now. That first fight with Vader did kind of look a little cheap to me, and then the stuff with Vader and Reva in episode 5, that whole I don't know, something about that whole base looked very cheap to me, and it's kind of just like it looks like a lot of people just standing in front of a LCD screen.
Oh, that's too bad.
Much more so than in The Mandalorian. But like all the stuff in like the Fortress Inquisitorius, like the underwater sets and like that kind of stuff, like that all looked really good to me. So I don't know if it's just like the way the sets were lit or the way the actors were lit or what, or like the design of the stuff. Like, yeah, it did not have the like full on level of polish that I would have expected from that. And then also I feel like maybe they didn't have the best like fight choreographer or maybe Deborah Chow just needs a little bit more experience directing action, because there was some of the
Isn't
fights.
that kind of her jam though? Isn't that?
I don't think so.
No. Oh, maybe I'm thinking of someone else.
No, I mean, like, she directed episode 3 of The Mandalorian, which did have like a big fight in it at the end, but
Maybe
not.
that's what I was thinking of.
I don't know. A lot of the stuff with Vader to me felt a little like just awkwardly shot. I don't know. Maybe it's because Hayden Christensen isn't like 6'5" or whatever, like the guy that played Vader in the original series. So like,
I always feel bad when I forget his name.
there was David Prowse. Maybe they gotta like, shoot him low, and they gotta put him on an apple box when he's talking to other people so that he looks taller and stuff like that. Because he's probably like 6'1".
Yeah,
probably between 5'10" and 6'1".
probably average, right?
Yeah, probably a little bit on the shorter side actually. Leading men in Hollywood tend not to be over 6 feet.
Having just watched Top Gun.
Well, yeah. I don't know. So yeah, that was just some little things to me where I'm like, this doesn't. It looks like a TV budget to me.
What did you like about
it? Everything else.
Yeah, super compelling story.
Mm-hmm.
Ewan McGregor, love him to death.
Ewan was great.
He killed it, and honestly, like something that I sorry to cut you out there.
Yeah.
Something that I love just so much is that there was like so much shit in the Star Wars fan base around Luke Skywalker in the Disney trilogy, and about him being like this dude who doesn't want to fight and doesn't like war and like throws the lightsaber away. And everyone was like, that's not Luke, that's not what he would be like. And so there was a part of me that was really worried that they were going to do that with Obi-Wan. But we find Obi-Wan, and like he hasn't like used the Force in 10 years and is like emotionally traumatized. And like really, really has to work hard to get anything done and does not want to get involved. And is really beaten down. And I was like, perfect. That's exactly what I felt like he should be. And Ewan McGregor was playing it beautifully because he's a great actor. And then little Leia comes into his life and starts to like kind of coax him out of that. And little Leia is so cute. Oh my gosh, she's adorable.
She was great. That was such a big twist because that was nowhere in any of the marketing, right?
Yeah.
Like we knew that they had cast someone as young Leia, and it was like, okay, well that makes sense. Like we're probably gonna see. Because we knew that Jimmy Smits had been cast again as Bail Organa, so it's like, all right, so there's probably going to be a couple scenes on Alderaan that might have something to do with it. But like having her be the main focus was such a nice surprise, and I really enjoyed that character arc that they gave Obi-Wan. Okay, I will say I do have one kind of story nitpick.
Okay,
and that is I would have liked a little bit more insight into Reva's character prior to the reveal that she's trying to get revenge on Darth Vader.
Oh, right, because it was already kind of like, oh, I think she was a youngling. Like, she was kind of like hinting at that, but then all of a sudden, it's like, oh.
And it's like, yeah, well, what's this Order 66 flashback doing in the very first scene? Like, it would have been nice to tie that back in a little bit more, instead of going through the first few episodes and having no clues to what like she's doing. It's like she's just overly ambitious and wants power and like thinks that hunting Obi-Wan is going to be the thing that gets her that power. Would have been like I just would have liked it's played very like cards down, and I would have liked it to have been played a little bit more cards up. Not all the way up, but just like every now and then you flip over a card and you kind of reveal.
I think that's fair.
Yeah, just kind of reveal what a little hints into her motivation, where it doesn't have to be like super obvious. You can still have that reveal, that nice surprise of like, oh, she's hunting Anakin or she's hunting Vader. She wants revenge on Vader, but you can still have, her having Order 66 flashbacks show that she was a youngling. It's not a secret that the Inquisitors were all fallen Jedi that made bargains with the Empire to avoid death. Like that's been established in previous shows.
As well as I think there's a line. Maybe Obi-Wan delivers it that like they were once Jedi and now they hunt their own kind. Like that comes up at one point too in the show.
Yeah.
And so yeah, you're absolutely right. Like that was kind of like, oh yeah, we figured that out.
Yeah. So that's not like a big reveal, but like, you know, the way it's played was like, oh, you were a youngling. It's like, well, yeah, mathematically that kind of tracks. She's like early to mid 20s, so like, you know, she's probably 13 maybe when Order 66 happened, maybe a little bit younger. So that's kind of my only like plot nitpick, because I like the idea of like the Inquisitor is not actually hunting Obi-Wan. The Inquisitor just wants to get close to Vader and get Vader's guard down so that she can
Yeah, that was a cool twist.
get back at him.
But yeah, for sure.
So yeah, that's my only kind of story nitpick, but I think it just would have maybe added a little bit more dynamic to her character. Yeah.
Yeah. Altogether, great show. Loved it. Love Ewan McGregor. Love the tiny bit of Liam Neeson we got in the last episode.
Yeah, that was great.
Yeah,
I'd love to see more. I know the cast wants to do more. I've seen interviews with Deborah Chow and Kathleen Kennedy, and they've kind of been quoted as saying like, "Oh, we envisioned it as its own like contained thing." I don't know.
It did feel very one season series.
Yeah,
for sure.
But you know, like you don't have to have Darth Vader in it. Again, you know.
Also,
you can have him have other adventures that don't involve Vader.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially if they involve Darth Maul. That would be so interesting.
But they already finished that storyline in Rebels.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about the Rebels.
Kind of perfectly.
That's right. My bad.
Yeah.
But I was gonna say. Also, I just thought it was just really nice to have Hayden Christensen reprise his role as Anakin.
Yeah.
In something that wasn't a hot mess.
Yeah.
Because I realized, like, you know, at the end of episode 1 of the show where we see Vader, and I was like, oh shit, who's Vader? And then I see Hayden Christensen's name pop up, and I'm like, oh fuck, does he get to play Vader? That's so cool. But then later on, like, getting flashbacks of like him as Anakin, as the Padawan with Obi-Wan, I was like, this feels so nice.
Yeah, and I think they did a really good job of making Darth Vader and Anakin feel like the same person.
Yes.
So I don't think they do really, hardly ever in other media.
Absolutely.
But like having that flashback of them, you know, sparring, and you know, Obi-Wan going, like, it's a little. It's not subtextual at all. It's very much textual, but
yes,
being like,
absolutely.
You know, your need to win is your downfall, Anakin. You know, and having that be the thing where like Vader has blinders on, where like all he's doing is going after Obi-Wan, and even the Grand Inquisitor in the last episode, where he's like, "My Lord, he's trying to draw us away. Like we
need to end the
Underground
Railroad of Jedi.
We could end the path right now. We could catch them all. We could kill all the Jedi. We could kill everyone who's aiding and abetting." And he's like, "No, follow Kenobi." And the Grand Inquisitor's like, "Oh, okay."
Fucking idiot.
There's definitely he kind of gives him a look where he's just like, "Don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it."
But I thought it was really interesting because Anakin actually gets like a bit of an arc in this series, in that like you said, it does feel like Anakin and Darth Vader are the same person. And you know, Anakin wants revenge on Obi-Wan, and that's like a big driving force of the series. And then when they have their final showdown, and you know, the mask is split, and it's actually, you know, Anakin inside the mask, and he like tells Obi-Wan, you know, Anakin is dead. I killed him.
Yeah.
And like that's the climax, is the conversation they have, not the battle. Like, and I thought that was really moving. But the whole arc for both of them turns in that moment where Anakin, you know, like, or Darth Vader says that Anakin's dead, that I killed him, like, I am Darth Vader. and then goes back to, and like fails, like Obi-Wan gets away, and then goes back, and Palpatine is like, you know what? You're super obsessed with Obi-Wan, which tells me that you're hanging on to your past, which is not what I want. So you gonna let it go and be Darth Vader, or are you going to continue to live as Anakin Skywalker?
Yeah.
And he's like, okay, I get it. I'm Darth Vader.
Yeah.
That's my choice. Anyway, those are some very important things to us that we spend a lot of time talking about, and I don't regret it right now. But we should probably get into the show.
We could, yeah. Maybe I'll cut some of these things out and we'll put them on Patreon. What we actually gathered here to talk about, we took a break from our Cannon Fodder miniseries to dive into Disney, which is something we have not done on this show, I believe, right?
No, I don't think so. But there were a lot of Disney movies, mostly sequels, in the era, like late 90s, early 2000s, that were just like
hot garbage.
Oh gosh, yeah, what the hell?
But yeah, we're diving into Disney in honor of Lightyear showing up in theaters. A new Pixar Buzz Lightyear origin movie.
Yep.
Like a movie within a movie kind of deal.
Yep.
We decided to go back in time and look at the other time that they already did this.
Yep. This is not an original idea. Go figure.
No. So we looked at Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, The Adventure Begins.
Ooh.
Starring Tim Allen.
Hey, everybody! It's here! Hut, hut, hut! It's the new action-packed Buzz Lightyear movie! Put it in! Put it in!
Darn thing's jammed.
Let me take a look at that.
Every hero has a beginning. Every hero has an arch enemy.
Lightyear must not escape.
Every hero has someone to rescue. Every hero lives for the thrill of adventure.
I'll bet that one scratched the paint.
But this is no ordinary hero.
Okay, it's so obvious.
It's Buzz Lightyear.
My galaxy!
I can't stand the suspense!
Disney and Pixar present Buzz Lightyear of Star Command. The Adventure Begins, starring Tim Allen.
I must overcome the evil Emperor Zurg, the sworn enemy of the Galactic Alliance.
It's the story of the real Buzz Lightyear
You don't look so fat when they draw you that way.
and the Space Rangers of Star Command.
Life or death struggle in the cold fastness of outer space.
Premiering only on video and Disney DVD, August 8th.
To infinity and beyond.
Yeah, this is a 70-minute direct-to-video / Disney DVD because Disney brands their own DVDs as something
I guess
special and different, even though it's not.
Nope.
That was like a precursor to the, weekday afternoon cartoon show
right.
that they had on Family Channel or Disney Channel or something, which I remember watching as a kid. I don't know if you ever...
I did not remember watching it, but there was a few characters that I recognized the look of.
Yeah,
and I was like, I have either seen part of the show or I remember the Happy Meal toys.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure there was Happy Meal toys from this show. I think
Yeah.
I had a couple of them.
Love it.
So yeah, this was the cartoon movie to that, and boy, was it something.
Wow. Yeah. So I mean, should we just run through the plot briefly? Kind of give an overview of the movie.
Go for it. Yeah.
So it starts off in like the Toy Story universe.
Right. Yes, it
Where,
does. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and so like we've got the very shitty CG of the not very shitty, but
Well, you can tell they didn't put their whole ass into it.
yes,
Yeah.
the half-cheeked CG animation of like the Toy Story characters, and Rex is like losing his shit with excitement as Woody brings in Woody voiced by Jim Hanks.
Yeah.
Brings in the VHS of the movie that we had just put into the VHS player.
Mm-hmm.
It's Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, The Adventure Begins, or whatever.
Which will also be available on the Retro Shoptacular on Etsy.
Oh, yeah, we watched it.
Plays perfectly.
Yeah, there was no glitches or anything. It was actually an impeccable VHS. Very happy.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the Toy Story character is put in the movie that we are watching, so that we're gonna like watch it at the same time as them, and then the camera does the thing where it slowly goes into the TV as the movie starts. And then what I said out loud is, I hope that we never go back to the Toy Story people. Like, there's no epilogue with how they enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
As if it didn't matter at all that the movie started that way. And that's exactly what we got.
I mean, unless it happens at the very end of the credits, we did not watch all the way to the end.
Right, because this is a pre-MCU thing, and normally people don't put shit after their credits.
We stopped it after the William Shatner theme song, spoken word theme song finished, which I will just, as we're talking now, I'll just play a little bit underneath. I won't stop talking, so that we don't get demonetized on YouTube, because that has happened before.
Yes,
Although Disney does seem to be rather ashamed of this project, because it's not on Disney Plus, but there is, the Hercules animated series is on Disney Plus. The Lilo and Stitch TV series is on Disney Plus.
That one I remember watching.
Yeah, but
Absolutely.
none of this is on
That's a shame.
Disney Plus. Anyways,
But yeah, that theme song, fuck,
real bad.
Love you, Will. Yeah, and so
Continue
the actual movie is Buzz Lightyear gotta go stop Zurg.
Yeah.
Evil Emperor Zurg. Evil Emperor Zurg is a bad guy. He's very bad.
Yeah.
And then
He even tells us at one point he's a bad boy.
he's a very bad boy. Oh my gosh. Yeah, and then he stops him, but then the thing blows up, and his partner, Warp Dark Matter, who has a widow's peak and loves chaos.
Yeah.
But they're best friends apparently.
And his name is Dark Matter.
Yep. Blows up. He dies in the explosion of the thing, and then Buzz Lightyear's like, I'm never having another partner ever again. And there's a lot of stuff. They went there to rescue some LGMs. That's Little Green Men. You'll remember them as the aliens from Toy Story.
Yeah, the Claw.
That's the one.
You have been chosen.
I love them. Yeah, they're a big component of Star Command. They all work really well because they are a hive mind species.
Yeah.
They have something called the Unimind on their home planet that links them all together. They can share thoughts and feelings. Zurg knows that they're connected in some way and wants to find out how. That's really the plot. Zurg is like, hey, how are you all communicating with each other telepathically? And there's actually a torture scene in this Disney movie where he's torturing some LGMs, being like, tell me about the Unimind, and they're like, we'll never tell. We are one.
Yeah, well, the little on-screen subtitle thing says Zurg Hidden Research Facility, Department of Torture. And it's like, oh.
And by the way, every time we cut, we get little title cards of where we're going, but we cut between the same places regularly, and the title cards get more and more hilarious.
Yeah. I can only hope that whoever was writing the title cards for that received a huge promotion.
Oh gosh, I hope so. They killed it.
Yeah.
They
understood the assignment.
Yeah. But really quickly, he finds out where the Unimind is because someone let it slip around Dark Matter. Twist, Dark Matter didn't die in the explosion. That was just a convenient way to get him out of Star Command because he was a sleeper agent the whole time.
And the someone was Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, it was Buzz Lightyear.
Bragging.
Yeah.
They have the Unimind. It's top secret, need to know information that you wouldn't know about, but I do because I'm Buzz Lightyear.
Yeah, he straight up has an ego problem. And that's hilarious.
They transferred the pompous ass characteristic from the toy.
Yes.
Into the show / movie pretty well.
And then basically because of that, Zurg learns where the Unimind is, steals it, corrupts it, and uses it to take over the minds of entire planets at once.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big death ray looking thing. It is Zurgerifically evil.
Yep.
One of the title cards. And just starts enslaving minds of entire planets, and then does it to Star Command. But Buzz Lightyear and his ragtag group of misfits, who he doesn't want to have around because he doesn't want a partner anymore because he puts his partners in danger because Zurg is after him. That's why Dark Matter died. Spoiler, he didn't die.
Yeah. So him and his partner, his newly assigned partner, Mira Nova, were both trying to steal a prototype ship to go after Zurg on their own.
Yep.
And then they ended up chasing after each other in different ships, and then that's how they escaped Star Command being mind controlled, and also the robot character XR, which is a robot that the Little Green Men built.
Of the
but,
experimental ranger.
yeah, but then was destroyed on its first mission, and when they went to put him back together, the hive mind, or the Unimind, had been captured, and they were no longer all connected, so they put him back together poorly, but that's what made him have a personality.
Yep. And he's very sarcastic.
Yeah, it's
Which
really
is great.
really
I love
good.
a sarcastic robot.
Yeah, so XR and Booster, who is the janitor,
But he just loves spaceships, and he wants
yeah.
to be a ranger so bad.
yeah, they had stowed away on Buzz Lightyear's ship. And so they all get sent on the wacky adventure to then go free the Unimind and return it to the Little Green Men home planet.
Yep. And like they land on Zurg's planet base thing, and Buzz Lightyear orders them all away because he's in charge and he doesn't want to put them in danger, and they all leave, and then he gets his ass captured and sneakily communicates to them while pretending to do a command log.
Yeah.
To get them to come rescue him, and then that's how they become a team.
Yeah,
great.
It's great. This movie fucking slaps.
It had
so hard.
It had no business. Like, so yeah, basic ass plot, like pretty predictable. Although I did think that Zurg had like winter soldiered dark matter. I thought that he had like rebuilt him as part of a robot and brainwashed him. But it turns out he was just evil the whole
He's just
time
a sleep ranger the
because
whole
he
time,
looked evil and his name was dark matter. And he even says, "My name was Dark Matter. You should have seen this coming."
Yeah.
Like, this movie knows exactly what it's doing.
Yes.
And leans on how ridiculous it is beautifully.
Yeah, it does what like things like The Simpsons and Futurama did so well.
Yes.
Where it's like, if you're a kid watching that, you might not pick up on some of the stuff, but like
As an adult,
as an adult watching it, you're like, oh wow, yeah, okay.
that's hilarious.
That is super funny.
Yep.
Like, you know, you cut back to the Little Green Men's home planet, and there's robots shooting it, and it's like LGM homeworld under attack. Obviously.
Yeah. And there's a title card for outer space.
Yeah.
Duh.
So good. Or like, you know, cuts back to Star Command and boosters mopping the floors, and it's like, Star Command headquarters, caution, wet floor.
Oh yeah. And there's a scene where it like cuts to like the Star Command cafeteria, and then the next title card, avoid the meatloaf.
So good.
So many title cards, and like they're quick. Like if you look
Yeah.
away, you miss them, and then we had to like ask each other, like, "Oh shoot, what did that one say?"
Yeah, the one that we had to rewind to read perfectly was Zergorifically evil. Now
yeah.
Zerg's palace. Now Zergorifically evil.
Right, because he had installed the Unimind and everything.
Yeah, it keeps getting worse. It's like first it's like Zerg's palace, a very evil place.
Yeah.
Yeah, Zerg's palace, Zergorifically evil. Zerg's palace, but you knew that already.
Yeah.
Because you've cut back there like 12 times at this point, right?
Oh,
So
funny.
so funny.
And then yeah, like there's a lot of like, you know, like fairly stereotypical like personalities, a lot of archetypes for the like kids space adventure genre, but they lean into it so well. Like Buzz is egotistical in like a lot of ways, and like the writing just kind of laughs at that.
Yeah.
Like
It does not take him seriously. He's the like overly confident, you know, strong jawline, like macho hero guy, and they're making fun of him for it.
yeah.
The same way they are in the actual Toy Story movies.
Yep. Which is great. And yeah, you mentioned before that like Buzz and Mira both want to steal this prototype ship to go on the one-person mission to infiltrate Zurg, right? And so yeah, Mira's like sneaking into the bay where this prototype is, and goes to like try to open the door, and Buzz is like, "And what do you think you're doing?" and like reprimands her, like, "You were gonna steal the ship. Go report yourself right away." And then she like is like, "Oh, I'm so sorry," and starts to leave. And then it's like, "Hey, wait a second. What are you doing in here?" And turns around, and Buzz is like trying to open the door, and he's like, "Oh, it's just a routine inspection." And she's like, "Oh yeah, okay, yeah, whatever." And she's like part of some species that can like phase in and out of things. And she reaches inside his head and puts him to sleep. And he's like, "Oh no, the brain squeeze."
Yeah.
And like falls unconscious. And then she goes on the mission. And then, they in the command center, whatever, they see the prototype launch, and Mustache Lightyear, the sergeant or whatever,
Yeah.
is like Buzz with giant fantasy eyebrows and an enormous mustache that exactly matches his eyebrows.
Yeah.
It's like, what the heck is that? And then Buzz comes on to the bridge and is like, that was Mira stealing the prototype. And he's immediately like, beat you to it, did she? And he's like, yeah, pretty much. Oh, it's so funny. Like, all the way through, the amount of times that I just burst out laughing.
Yeah. Did not expect to enjoy this as much as I did at all. I expected to full on hate this.
Yeah.
Especially since, like, it's not available on Disney Plus.
Yep.
It's like either the movie or the show.
Yeah.
Like, okay, clearly they're not, they're clearly ashamed of this. They want to kind of just sweep it under the rug, which, like, of all the things to be ashamed of, Disney,
Gosh, yeah.
this is not it.
No,
Be proud of this. Put
For
this
sure.
out there. This holds up 100%.
It's great.
And with, like, Lightyear being out in theaters now, like, now's a perfect time to do it. I never would have watched this movie if, the Buzz Lightyear movie hadn't been coming out in theaters.
Yeah.
But I was like, oh, I've got an old VHS of that kicking around somewhere. I think I had bought it a while ago for us to do a culture night on, and we just never got around to it.
Probably.
But it would have been great to watch this with friends.
Gosh, I still want to. I would rewatch this movie with friends.
Yeah, maybe I should hang on to it.
Oh yeah, we were gonna sell it, weren't we?
Yeah, I'll digitize it before I sell it.
Perfect. There you go.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was just hilarious, and like, yeah, one of the funniest moments. Zurg, as a stereotypical like comic evil villain, where he's like, I'm so evil, and talks about how evil he is all the time.
Yeah, his catchphrase is "evil rules."
Yeah, which is so funny, and like that's the kind of mentality you would see in so many cartoon villains that are just so lame. They're for kids, and like kids think that's funny, and you're like, okay, well, it's just stupid. But like they just turn it up just enough for Zurg that it becomes ridiculous. Where like he first enslaves a planet, and like people on the planet all at the same time go, evil rules. And he's just like, oh, it feels so good. My goosebumps have goosebumps. I am so evil. Oh, I'm such a bad boy. And like if they had ended it just, I'm so evil, I would have been like, oh yeah, that's exactly what they would have said. But then they just go one step further, and he's like, oh, I'm such a bad boy. And it's like the delivery in the line is just beautiful and so stupidly funny. But it's supposed to be like, they're really like turning up the comic factor for the adults.
Wayne Knight is the voice of Zurg, who people would know from I know him best as Dennis Nedry in Jurassic Park.
Shoot, who's Dennis in Jurassic Park again?
The big fat guy who shuts down the security system.
Yeah.
That's him. He's also Newman in Seinfeld.
Mm-hmm.
People who are slightly older than us would know him probably best as Newman.
Probably.
Or if you're younger than us, slightly. Actually, no. You know what? No. Same age. What am I talking about? Stan Podolak in Space Jam.
Oh, jeez.
In fact, for the longest time, I did not know that actor's name. I just referred to him as Stan Podolak. It's Wayne Knight.
Wayne Knight. It's a great name.
Yeah. Boy, what else? This is such a weird era of Disney, huh?
Yes.
Like they were kind of a few years away from the true. Well, they had a renaissance in the 90s, right? You had your
the Disney Renaissance.
Your
Lion King.
Lion King,
Little
Pocahontas.
Mermaid.
Little Mermaid was like before Lion King.
Was it before?
I think so. I think it was like 89 or something.
Okay,
like
well,
that, so.
Jungle Book.
I'm
pretty sure.
No, Jungle Book's from like the 60s.
60s?
Yeah.
That old?
Yeah, Jungle Book's old.
What the hell? Okay, I guess I don't remember.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's everything that like
Little Mermaid, Lion King, Pocahontas.
like Alan Menken did.
Yeah. It's the Jeff Katzenberg era of Disney. And then like fizzling out into like Tarzan and
Tarzan slays, by the way.
still good.
Yeah,
Still good. But it's
still
like
good.
it's the tail end of
Absolutely, yeah.
I think it kind of dies with Atlantis.
Oh yeah, Atlantis.
Atlantis is
right.
like, for me, that's the end of the Disney Renaissance, like the animation Renaissance.
Yeah. and then there was the
And then there's some
era
like oddball ones, like Emperor's New Groove, which is like
oh my gosh, yeah,
a
holds up
great movie. But
perfectly.
I always forget that it's a Disney movie.
Yeah, me too.
I assume it was a DreamWorks movie.
I absolutely thought so too. But yeah, on the VHS, we got all of the previews.
Yeah.
Emperor's New Groove was on there, which is a great movie. But then we had stuff like 102 Dalmatians.
Yeah.
Which I was like, oh, I didn't
live
know
action
that was a thing.
Glenn Close. Yeah, they just had no idea what they were doing. You know,
No.
it's like, yeah. So this
What the hell?
fits in because I think Atlantis was also like 2000 or something like
I
that.
think so.
You know, and this kind of fits in to that same era. This came out in 2000 as well. It's
Mhm.
just like Disney just kind of scrambling to figure out what they're doing. Like,
yeah,
when did Lilo and Stitch come out?
I don't remember.
I think Lilo and Stitch might have been after this actually, but still kind of.
Yeah, making all their sequels to like Pocahontas and Aladdin and
Okay, Lilo and Stitch was 2002, so maybe that's like the final animated
like a good one
good one
from that era.
Yeah. Oh, Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast would have been in the 90s as well, I think.
Pretty
right?
sure, yeah.
Because there's like CGI in that movie.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like the
little bit.
beasts, like when they're like dancing and stuff like that. Well, that's all CGI. So.
Mm-hmm. Pretty sure, yeah. Are you sure Little Mermaid is in the 90s? I thought Little Mermaid was like 92 or 94 or something like that.
I'll look it up right now.
Because I think Alan Menken did the music for that one, and he did like a bunch in a row for the Disney.
The Little Mermaid is 1989.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Yeah, so that kind of kicked off the Renaissance, and then I guess like Lilo and Stitch would have been the tail end of that, because we didn't really get another 2D animation after that, except like Princess and the Frog.
Oh, I forgot about Princess and the Frog.
Everyone does.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I want to rewatch it now. I don't remember how I felt about it.
But they're kind of starting to kick off their, because now Disney animation is obviously CGI stuff, but they've
Mm-hmm.
with Frozen and Tangled. I guess Tangled first, then Frozen,
Mm-hmm.
and Raya and the Last Dragon.
Mm-hmm.
There's one more that I'm missing. I think.
Well,
Am I?
just,
Frozen 2?
I mean, that was a thing,
yeah.
yeah.
I don't know. They're starting to get their animation groove back on track.
Seems like it, yeah.
Yeah.
Feels like. But yeah, this was a super weird era for Disney movies.
Yeah.
Well, just to be clear, too, yeah, like the beginning with all the Toy Story stuff was CG, but this whole movie is 2D animation.
It is 2D
just to be
animation.
clear.
Yeah.
And yeah, like, it's so funny.
It definitely looks like TV animation.
Yeah, 100%.
Like it's not anything special. It's not theatrical
for sure.
Disney level
Yeah,
animation.
like you said, this turned into the Buzz Lightyear show, and
Yeah.
the animation is the same.
And I don't think this got a theatrical release. I'm pretty sure this was like a direct to video, direct to DVD
That's what I assumed. Yeah,
kind of thing.
direct to Disney.
So
DVD. Yeah.
Disney DVD. Sorry.
Very important.
Sorry. Very, very important. Very different and special. He's not like your other DVDs. Exactly.
That's what it is. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's the same thing.
I wouldn't have put it past them to like try and sell like a Disney DVD player. Like, for the ultimate experience, watch your Disney DVDs in your Disney DVD player. You're like, oh, we got to get the special Disney DVD player to watch the Disney DVDs.
Gosh, yeah.
No, but
Bring
yeah,
the magic to your home.
I wish there was more to say about this in terms of like. Yeah,
it
I
was
don't know.
just so many specific moments that were fucking hilarious.
Yeah,
That like we can't recap every single moment. Like
yeah. Otherwise, it
you
would just
need
be
to
us.
go watch this movie.
Yeah, it would just be us quoting the movie at you, which is not interesting to listen at.
No.
Or listen to.
Yeah.
Listen at us real quick, will
Listen
you?
at us. Listen at this, baby.
So I guess this is kind of more of a Stranger Things and Obi-Wan review episode.
Yep. I think
But-
that's what happened.
but
Didn't see that coming.
nope. But I was expecting to rip this thing apart,
Yeah.
but it's kind of just great.
Especially like honestly watching like that trailer for 102 Dalmatians, I was like, yep, this is the kind of shit we're in for.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then like
Thinking back to like the Aladdin TV series, being like, oh, that was
oh
garbage.
my gosh, hot garbage. But then this was just great and just a funny watch.
Excellent, elegant surprise.
Yeah.
Not that elegant. It's pretty.
Yeah.
But yeah, just it's very clear that this was written by someone who knew that this was going to be a directed video thing, and that people who were in charge were probably not going to look too closely at it.
Clearly.
You know? And so they're like, I'm just going to put all these jokes in here and, dumb subtitles and stuff and see if it gets by. And someone clearly like went and looked at it like, yeah, Buzz Lightyear's on every page. Good.
Yeah, there's one shot where I was like very much like, okay, yeah, someone slipped that in there and it got under the radar. And that's when our experimental ranger XR is like sitting back in the cockpit of Buzz Lightyear's ship, having brought Booster in there, and Booster's like pretending to be Buzz and getting all excited about being a ranger, and he's just sitting back chilling because he doesn't want to work, and he's reading a magazine that's called Victoria's Circuit.
Yeah.
And I was like, what?
Yeah. Brilliant.
Wow.
Right? It was just like, yeah, it's very clear that like Bob Iger or whoever the fuck's in charge of Disney at this point
didn't catch that one.
Is not going to watch this in its entirety. He's going to delegate this to someone else.
Yep.
And even that person's probably not going to watch it that closely. They're just going to watch it and be like, all right, yeah, no, it looks good.
There are title cards. I'm not going to read them. That's fine.
There's title cards. There's, they're probably watching it while they're like doing other paperwork.
Mm-hmm.
Like, yeah, okay. How long? It's 70 minutes. Okay, that's good. We can put that on a tape and sell it.
We can fit that on a Disney DVD.
Make sure you get it down to 4.7 gigabytes or less. We don't want to splurge for the dual layer discs on this one.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So,
yeah. But no,
pleasant surprise if you can find it. I think there is like a very shitty low res copy on YouTube that was going to be our backup in case the VHS tape I had was garbled. But again, VHS plays perfect. Check it out on Etsy. Yeah, seek it out. Find it, watch it. It's
totally worth it.
Really funny.
Totally worth it. Stupidly funny.
Yeah, and then I don't know. I haven't seen the new Lightyear movie. I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
I
sort of interested.
I like the idea of like. I mean, I always like the idea of like making a movie out of a thing from another movie. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I always think that's kind of an interesting concept. So I'm blanking on. If that's ever happened before.
What happened in the movie that we just watched?
Well, in the movie that we just watched, but like other examples. I'm sure it has, though. The only thing I can think of is they turned the fake trailer for Machete at Grindhouse into an actual movie called Machete.
That's right.
And then gave it a sequel also.
There's a sequel?
Machete Kills.
Oh, I haven't seen that.
They never made Machete Kills Again in space. But there is a trailer for it at the end of Machete Kills, and I'm like, you fucker, you can't just tease us like that.
Oh, well.
But, yeah.
Yeah.
Machete Kills. Great movie. No, wait. Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, The Adventure Begins, starring Tim Allen. Great movie.
Yeah, honestly.
And it's the best part, 70 minutes long.
Yep. You can turn it out pretty quick.
You just crank it out pretty quick. And honestly, parents with like young kids, they probably would dig this. You could just lie to your kids and tell them that this is the Buzz Lightyear movie. You don't got to spend like $160 on movie tickets and popcorn and shit. Taking them to the theater, just plonk them in front of the TV and be like, look, kids, Buzz Lightyear.
Hell yeah.
Although, do you think kids these days understand 2D cartoons?
What's not to understand? It's a cartoon.
Are they just going to be like, Mom, Dad, why does this look so bad?
I don't know. I guess that depends on the expectations set and how young they are. Like I have a niece and a nephew. They love old classic Disney movies and 2D animation, but they also love Paw Patrol. So it's like it's possible to do both.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about like what my nephew watches, and he watches, Paw Patrol and other things. It seems like all the kids shows that he watched are all 3D animation. Like I don't know if he's seen any of the old Disney movies, but I'm kind of just like thinking about it now, and I'm like, if I put this on for him, is he gonna be like bored by it? Like if or like any like if I put on like The Lion King, is he gonna be like, what is this? Why are there paintings?
I'll be shocked out of my mind if any kid was bored by The Lion King.
I don't know, man. I've heard
starts pretty attention grabbing. Someone yells at you.
that's true. It does start with someone just screaming at you. But I've heard of like, people our age showing their kids, when they turn 5 or 6 or whatever, showing them like A New Hope, and the kids like not having the attention span to watch it. Like that movie, starts out big and bombastic, and there's a space battle, and like after that, it's like kind of a lot of talking.
Yeah.
And like robots walking around the desert for a while, and like I've heard of like kids getting bored, but then it's like you put on the Phantom Menace. And or like the Clone Wars cartoon. Like I've heard like a lot of kids, like young kids, their intro into Star Wars now is like the Clone Wars animated series and the Rebels animated series.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Those are like their intro into the show or into the franchise, and then from there you can get them to watch
once they're already interested. Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Anyways, I'm sweating like a motherfucker over here, so
yeah.
I think let's wrap it up.
Cool.
Anything else you want to say about Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, the cartoon animated movie of our dreams?
No, just surprisingly great. We're gonna give the old Breakfast Club fist pump.
Yeah,
for sure.
I am very curious though, real quick, to just look up.
Oh, if it has a Rotten Tomatoes.
What the Rotten Tomatoes is of.
I can't imagine it would be good, but also it's so good.
Yeah. Let me just it's the hold music. Here we go. Rotten Tomatoes. Okay, there's only an audience score. There's 4 reviews on the tomato meter. Let's see. They're all bad.
Yep. That's what I figured.
And the audience score is 50%. You know what that tells me?
Nothing.
People don't like fun. So
this movie was a lot of fun.
Fuck you, whoever reviewed this movie. This movie's great.
We gotta get on there, man. We gotta start giving those ratings where they're needed.
Breakfast Club fist pump. Don't you forget about Buzz Lightyear of Star Command, The Adventure Begins, starring Tim Allen.
So good. I love that it says that right on the front, starring Tim Allen.
Yeah, that was like a selling feature.
Yeah, they're
like, the kids are gonna want to know that the actual voice of Buzz Lightyear is here, and not we didn't Jim Hanks it for this movie. We didn't get to who's the guy that does the voice for the TV show?
Patrick Warburton.
It's Patrick Warburton, right?
Yeah.
It's the Tick.
Yeah.
Love him. They're like, we didn't get Patrick Warburton for this. Well, we did. He does the Little Green Men voice, but no, fuck, we didn't. We
got Tim.
We got Tim for this one. We shelled out.
Yep.
So, anyways, yeah.
Do you want me to let you do the outro on its own, or should I just turn on the AC already while you're doing the outro?
Just turn it on. Here we go. Thank you for listening to the show. If you like the show, you can find us on all the major podcasting platforms: iTunes, Spotify. We might not be on Spotify right now.
Why aren't we on Spotify, Aaron?
Because I changed providers and or hosting platforms, and to be on Spotify, you gotta pay. I'm just on the free version right now because funds were a little tight for a while, so I had to.
Oh, that's legit, yeah.
But if you want to get you want to untighten the funds, jump
Screw
onto
the lid off that fun.
Yeah.
And let it pop out and scare you.
Dump those
fun
money. I was about to say dump the money pickles all over me, and then you just yelled fun at me. Anyways, we got a Patreon, patreon.com/retrocrappod. All of those links you can find to anything you'd ever want to do, anything to do with our show, you can find at linktr.ee/retrocrappod. It's got a bunch of buttons you can click. Click them. Click the buttons.
Anything you'd ever want to do.
Push it for glory. We love.
So hot in here.
It's too hot. And we're gonna keep all our clothes on.
That's right, listener. We're not undressing.
As far as you know. I'll put in like a little porno groove
Please do.
Edit, just to confuse the listener even further. Anyways, thanks for listening to the show, and until next time, we'll be back to continue the canon fodder next month with something. I don't remember which one we're doing. Look it up later. I'm gonna.
Oh boy, it's one of those endings, eh?
Yes.
Love it.
I'm not gonna pull out my phone to look it up. It's too hot. Anyways, keep watching crap.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, Buzz Lightyear
Oh, I know how to get back in.
cartoon.
I'm a bad boy.